Hello, this is Leisha Bream with Journey to Greatness, 365 Days to Your Best Year Yet, and the author of the little book on Amazon, Extraordinary People Living Ordinary Lives, Break Free. Break free from the herd and reclaim your greatness because you are great. We have been talking about self-love and discovering our limiting beliefs. We've been talking about not getting discouraged over these past few weeks. And today I want to talk about excuses. If you're not seeing the results that you want right now, I bet it has something to do with making excuses. You know, a lot of us, we made New Year's resolutions. Perhaps we wanted to get promoted. We wanted to improve our relationships or get fit, lose weight. Maybe you wanted to enhance your self-confidence, or you wanted to make or save money. You wanted to get organized. I mean, the list goes on. And all of these things are great goals to have for self-improvement. But are you seeing the results that you want? Are you making headway? So we have to ask ourselves, if we're not, what's holding us back? And as I said, I think it's probably because you're making excuses. And I truly understand making excuses because I used to make them all the time. I still make excuses, but I am aware, self-aware, a lot more self-aware than I used to be, which is the first step to taking responsibility for your life and self-regulating. And when we make excuses, we're not in control of ourselves. We're looking for the easy way out. We're looking for that path of least resistance. And let me just throw this in there. If you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not moving forward, you're definitely dying. We have to build up our mental toughness and our emotional toughness if we want to have our best year yet. And that means we definitely need to be eliminating excuses from our repertoire, and especially from not taking action. We have to first truly want the changes that we're wanting to make. We have to desire them passionately. And when we do have this passionate desire to change something, nothing is going to stand in our way. We'll be able to change our thinking. And when we change our thinking, we change our behavior. Let's take a look at some of the different types of excuses that come up. And I think there's literally 5 that really stood in the way of most of my life until I became really aware of how I was living. And my first most popular and beloved excuse was, it's not my fault. When it comes to excuses, there's literally 2 types of people in the world. There's the whiners and the winners. And the whiners put the blame on external factors for the results of their present life. You can create the best life possible with what you have and with what you are willing to work for. You're going to face adversity, but if you press on, you will make it. At all costs, take yourself out of that whiner mindset and be a winner. You have to embrace that. The second excuse that I had in my life, and maybe you can relate, is that I didn't have enough time. Well, we're all born with the same amount of time. I would sleep in till the very last minute before I had to pop out of bed and go to work, get dressed and go to work. So for me, work started at 9. So I would pop out of bed at 7:30, get showered, have a little breakfast, and then dash out the door, almost being late every day. And I wanted to exercise. I wanted to write. At the time, I wanted to go back to school. And I was like, how am I ever going to have time with a full-time job and the responsibility of being a general manager and be able to do all these other things? Well, that was about 6 years ago. And what I had to do was I had to change my sleeping routine. I had to wake up early in the morning. I started with 5:30 in the morning, and now I get up at about 4 a.m. every day. I'm able to get in a full hour and a half of exercise. I'm able to write. I'm able to do my podcast and my vlog in the morning before I ever step foot out the door to go to work. I literally live 2 lives in one day. And it's because I thought about it, I became aware of the fact that I was wasting a lot of time, that the rituals that I had on a daily basis, the way that I was spending my time habitually, that I was watching television for 2 hours in the morning, and when I came home at night, I was literally losing 4 hours of time by just watching television. One of the things I did was I got rid of the TV. I literally don't have a television. So I'll catch my news on the way to work and on the way back from work when I'm driving back and forth. But the thing is, we all have the same amount of time, and we have to look at how we're spending it. How are we spending it when we're going through our daily rituals? We have to look at how those rituals are either supporting us and getting us closer to our goal or pulling us away from our objectives. And then we have to look at how much time we're sleeping. Yes, we need anywhere between 6 and 7 hours of sleep, but can you carve that? Are you sleeping more than 6 or 7 hours? So you can really look at your time and how you're spending it, and you think of it as a budget and figure out ways that you can budget your time more effectively so that you can get the results that you're looking for. But time and not having enough was one of my biggest excuses. I did end up getting my degree in school. I did go back to school. I do work out every day. I have accomplished many of the things that I wanted to accomplish when I had set those goals 6 years ago. But I really had to learn how to get out of my own way and use my time a lot more effectively and be creative as to how I was using my time. Okay, another one for me was I don't have enough money. And a lot of people throw this out as an excuse. And yeah, absolutely, money can be an obstacle. But highly successful people, they see a lack of money as a barrier to overcome. They set business goals and they create business plans to achieve those goals. And they stick to the task until they get it done. They start where they are instead of wishing they were someplace else. They persevere against all the odds. And it's about that tenaciousness, that willingness to make it happen. And sometimes that's a lot of hard work. And if you're stuck in that comfort zone mentality, like things need to be comfortable and you don't want to get out of your comfort zone, then you'll never press against all odds. And sometimes if you've got a lofty goal, not sometimes, all the time, you have to push out of that comfort zone. And that's really ingrained in us to look for whatever we can do or whatever steps we can take to be more comfortable. But we have to push out of that and realize that to get where we want to go, there's going to be struggles and there's going to be a lot of discomfort. So with money, you have to find ways that you're going to make more. You're just going to have to do that. There's probably a lot of things in your house right now that you are not using, that you haven't used for years, that you could sell on Facebook Live. That's just one example where you could make some extra money if you need to. And all of us need to. So maybe it's time to declutter the house and sell some of these things that have been gathering dust for years. Facebook Live, you'll sell it in a matter of a few hours. Try that out. See what happens. One of my favorite excuses, and it was an excuse, it was so I didn't really have to take action, was I am too old. Bullshit. That's a nice try, Leisha. Like most things, age is a state of mind. If you're older, you are as old as you think you are and how you act. This projection is what everyone sees and feels from you. I have seen in my particular business people that are in their 80s and 90s that act more like a vivacious, youthful 20-year-old than the 18-year-olds that I run across or actually have employed for me. So age is not a limitation. Your attitude about age is. And yes, I understand that there's people that will perhaps treat you less than because of age discrimination. But don't you remember when you were young, people would discount you then as well because you were too young and you didn't have any life experience. So the time to get off the pity pot is now, and realize that we all face these different forms of discrimination, whether we're older or when we're younger. All we have to do is, if we're an older person, we have to remember that we went through the same thing, only reversed when we were 18, 19, 20, 25. There were people who definitely discounted us because we were too young and inexperienced. And now that we're older, they see us as old and not valuable. So it's really the consciousness of the person who's doing the judging. So don't allow the opinions of other people and their prejudices to hold you back from what you want to be. Don't use that as an excuse. As long as you're breathing and you're vital and you're energetic and you have a great attitude, it doesn't matter how old you are. Get out there and make what you want to make happen. I have a dear friend who is an entertainer, and he's nearing 70 years of age. He's constantly in demand. He's constantly performing. No, he's not famous, world famous, but he's beloved by thousands of people. And it's his passion to sing and dance and perform. And you can't really tell that he's nearing 70. He looks, because he's in such great shape, he looks like he's in his maybe 50s or 40s. And he has the energy of a 20-year-old. So his attitude is that of a 16-year-old. It truly is how we project ourselves to the world and how we internalize that number that dates us. So don't let age get in your way. And mostly don't use it as an excuse to yourself as to why you're not getting up off your bottom and doing things. It's just an excuse. And it really comes down to being a little bit lazy. And there's that last excuse, I'm too tired. And no, again, it's about laziness. The only way you're going to get anywhere is to get off your butt, turn off the TV, and make things happen. In physics, Newton's first law of motion starts that a body in motion tends to remain in motion, while a body at rest tends to remain at rest. So in our lives, inertia, the tendency to take action, is the real obstacle to success. You're never going to get very far along in your professional, financial, or your health path if you're sitting on the couch. Now, I hope I've given you something to think about. I'm having a little bit of a throat problem this morning, so excuse me for the stuttering. But if you'll sit on down and get relaxed, I'm going to get a drink of water, and then we're going to do our mini mindfulness meditation. All right, go ahead and get settled. If you're driving your car, please pull over to the side of the road so that we don't get into an accident. We don't want any bad things to happen during this mini mindfulness meditation. And if you're sitting up straight and in a dignified fashion, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes. Today, we are going to reflect on the things that we can do. To begin, close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're going to do this 3 times. So are your eyes closed? All right, here we go. Deep breath in and release through your mouth. Deep breath in and release through your mouth. Deep breath in and release through your mouth. Now gently shift your focus to something you can do that you are proud of. It can be an athletic skill, a talent, a school subject, or something else. Think about how you learned to perfect this skill or this talent. How much hard work did it require? Was it challenging? Was it easy? Did you ever make excuses while you were working on it? Did you ever feel like giving up while you were working on it? What was it that kept you from giving up? Next, think about how it feels now that you have perfected it. Are you happy? Do you feel proud? Do you feel excited? Now think about something that you would like to be able to do. Although it may be difficult and it may come with challenges, remind yourself that you can do it. Begin to think about how it will feel when you master this new talent or skill. Next, think about the steps that you can take to make it happen. When you are finished, take another deep breath in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Let's take a breath in and release. Now slowly open your eyes. You know, the truth is you can do it. You can. But you have to stop making excuses that get in the way of your progress. You have to become aware of what those excuses are, because with awareness comes the ability to self-regulate, to take control of our inner world, to take control of what's subconscious. So today, become aware of the excuses that you're making to not take action toward the things that are going to better your life, that are going to better your world. If you need to, write them down. Write down your discoveries and then take charge. Be an adult, a mature adult. So I'm not going to let this happen anymore. I'm not going to make these excuses. I'm not too old. I'm not too tired. I'm going to find the time. I'm going to figure out how to find the time to get the things done that I need to get done, to do right by me. All right, my friends, I hope I've given you something to think about. Be bold, be brave, and always, always be your authentic self. Until we meet again, bye for now.